Perfect. Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's session, Business Health Navigator for Entrepreneurs. My name is Daniel Nzueto, and I'm happy to welcome you to today's session. If this is your first time attending one of our workshops, let me provide some context on StartOut. StartOut accelerates the growth of the LGBTQ plus community to drive its empowerment, economic empowerment, building a world where every LGBTQ plus entrepreneur has equal access to lead, succeed, and shape the workforce of the future. I'm excited to introduce you to our host today, Victor Gonzalez Galeano, a seasoned and accomplished coach devoted to driving diversity, equity, and inclusion by empowering individuals, groups, and teams across 5 pivotal dimensions: performance, well-being, engagement, leadership, and transition. With Victor as your guide, you have the opportunity to unlock your full potential, embrace fresh horizons, and attain unparalleled success in both your personal and professional realms. Victor will be leading us through our 7-part Business Health Navigators for Entrepreneurs program, which we invite you to participate, and he'll talk to you a little bit more about. The floor is yours, Victor.
Thank you, Daniel, and good afternoon, everyone. Excited to be here with you today. I don't get the pleasure of seeing you all just yet, but I'm so thankful that you've chosen to spend some time with us today, in hopes that the information that we are to share in today's class, it's of great benefit to your business. So what brought us here today was StartOut and the idea of a business health navigator for us entrepreneurs and solopreneurs. So I like to keep an open mind as to the information that we are to share. Just some logistics. We're going to spend like about 90 minutes together. The format is that I like us to create a space of learning and understanding and active listening and sharing. A lot of us are going to be very familiar with the subject matter, and by all means, I welcome your participation. And some of us may not have much information around the subject matter, and that's the reason why we're here. We want to level up the knowledge, and if anything, create greater awareness around what you can do to take your business to the next level. Rules of engagement: only listen attentively with your eyes and ears. Again, be collaborative, and encourage curiosity and participation. Give yourself permission to be very curious about what we're talking here today. I like to start with the end in mind, and is to say thank you for, again, taking the time to be with us today. For some of us are still day, for some of us are in the middle of the night. So from wherever you're calling from, thank you for being courageous, being open, being present, being vulnerable, and most importantly, for being you. And on that note, I'd like to break the ice. If I was dancing before by myself, that Daniel caught me dancing to it, I'm going to ask you to find your personality, the one that matches more how you're feeling, or how your friends describe you. And I know my good friend Jason is joining us today. So Jason, if you don't pick, I'm gonna pick for you. And if you will, just go ahead, and if you feel like it, go ahead and share on the chat what best describes you as you. So I think Daniel is the geek. Daniel, are you the geek? I see you like the geek.
I'm definitely a geek.
See, I was right. I definitely see you as the geek. I am not the lazy one. Definitely not a gangster. So probably the innocent one, if you can believe that. So I'll give you a second or two to find you, and most importantly, put a smile on your face as you do so. And as you continue to do that, to give you some idea of what we're going to take away from today's class. You, as I mentioned earlier, you may have an idea of what the business vitals are, and specifically on each of them. You may have extensive knowledge on it, you may not. What I do believe that you'll go away with is greater awareness on how important they are for your business health. You will also get a glimpse of as to a better understanding how coaching makes a world of difference in everything that we do, whether it's at home, at work, or in our communities. And um, you'll get also a strategy on how to create with intention, keyword intention, your business plan around your business vitals. So my goal is that I create this curiosity around what you're going to do effective tomorrow to make sure that you step towards a greater performance in each of the five vitals. Now, when you do that, ultimately, your business is going to be in a much better health. And of course, I'll share some resources and actionable items. All right. Now that all of us sort of like swallow that, I know that Daniel shared a little about my bio and all that. The reason I have these here is intentionally. I want you to see that picture of Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Summit of 2022. For those of you who are there, this is the first gift I'm giving you. If you do know about Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses, awesome. If you do not know, awesome, because I'm here to tell you to check it out and find a scholarship that can help you be part of that 10,000 alumni network that can help you grow your business as well. So that's the only reason I have that picture there. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and why I'm here today. It's been an 11-year journey to my life purpose. I'm sharing it with you because to some of you, this is going to resonate as we are trying to figure out what is it that we're going to do when we grow up. Some of us may have a clear path as to exactly what we're going to do. And some of us, life can turn some rocks out there that makes us slip in such a way that we don't even know where we're going to end up. My career and my experience in corporate America is 25 years in the retail banking industry. From teller to the highlight of my career as a district manager for Bank of America during the Bank of America fleet merger in Boston. 42 banking centers, the whole 9 years. And then life happened. I lost my mom and I lost myself. And I left my job and I lost my partner. And then I found myself and I found the gift. And here's how I'm leading my life, coaching and leading others through those turbulent times, especially when it comes to navigating work, home, and community without compromising our well-being. A little bit about my human side and who I spend the most time with when I am not at work, especially my favorite, my bundle of joy and unconditional love, Plato, whom we humans can learn a lot from. And on that note, so what can we expect here? I don't want you to think that what you're getting is going to be a 7 to 10 to 12 process to fix your business health. No. And it's not going to be a quick fix. It's going to require work, work that can be done. And the most important thing is that you're not alone. Jason, did you hear me out there? You're not alone. There's a plethora of people and resources out there to help you out. StartOut is one of the awesomest organizations that I work with that provide us with that opportunity. And so what we're going to get is a more of a human-centered, empowered, authentic, realistic, a transparent way in which we can change our business by focusing on the vitals that makes it kick. A total different point of view that in my humble opinion is going to create P to the third power, greater performance, greater productivity, and greater profitability. Having said that, there is a mindset that all of us came in with from the minute that we started the presentation until the end. All right, there is a mindset of where are we in this process. And so I have come to this understanding. We come from a place of darkness into enlightenment. And that's the journey that I like us to take today, where I create greater awareness as to the importance of the 5 vitals of your business, regardless of whether you are where you are in the journey, whether it's a dream of a business that you want to get to, or you're in the second, third, fourth, 10th year in your business. Create greater awareness around the importance of your vitals to a point that you awaken and you identify the pain points, the handicaps that you have in your business because you're not paying enough attention to 1 or 2 or 3 of the vitals. Because when you identify that pain, then we can give it a pill that we can go into exercising more to make sure that we take it to the level that we want it to. But that's not going to happen until A to the third power, until your attitude changes towards it. Because one thing that I've learned about us is that we sometimes like to drive ourselves, even if we have a great deal of pain. And I'll give an exercise on that later on. And then once we have that attitude change, then A to the 4th power will call us to take action. What is it that we're going to do? What are we going to do? When are we going to do it? Where are we going to do it? Who's going to help us? And what is going to happen when that action actually takes place that is going to elevate our specific target that we have, whether it's going to be marketing or finances or well-being or strategy. And last but not least, A to the 5th power, accountability. Holding yourselves accountable for the work that you're about to do. Get an accountability partner. Having somebody of trust that can remind you with love the importance of the action steps that you decided that you were going to do. Or in some cases, have a coach as an accountability partner. So there you have it. My second gift, A to the 5th power, from darkness into enlightenment, from awareness to awakening, to attitude, to action, to accountability. Having said that, then let's go ahead and take this journey together. Okay? So, what are your business vital signs? And more important, why are they important to you? So I can mention a great deal of reasons why they are important, starting with financial stability, customer satisfaction, employee engagement and productivity, innovation and adaptability, operational efficiency, effective risk management, and on and on and on. So to disclose them, here they are. 5 vital signs you need to watch to keep your business healthy, starting with marketing and in no particular order, just to be crystal clear. It doesn't mean that one is more important than the second. Let's put them all in a, in a same level. Marketing, legal, financial, strategy, and well-being. And so today marks, as Daniel said in the beginning, meeting number one of seven that we're going to perform, where we'll have the opportunity to go deeper and have a more intimate conversation in each of the five vitals, depending on how you think you're doing or failing to do in your own organizations. So here's the sort of the roadmap that I wrote for us today. So step one, we're gonna introduce business health strategy. And I'm gonna give you an analogy that I thought about that could simplify what we're doing. We're going sort of to do like a gap analysis of how each and every one of us are doing in the five vitals, right? And depending on how good or not so good we are doing, we might have to go into the ER, and that's step number eight. Hopefully, none of us will have to go to the ER. Who wants to go to the ER anyway? But sometimes it happens, and the most important thing is that we realize that we have to go, even if we don't have to, because we can be so stubborn sometimes. I'm okay. I don't need a doctor. I feel fine. And you just went through a major accident. So it just so happened one of my neighbors just had an accident, and that was his attitude. In any case, hopefully we don't have to take our business to that ER environment that we're talking about. But I want you to know whether you should or should not. And then step two, we're going to go and talk about well-being, how to know your most valuable asset, your employees, inclusive of you, or yourself, because some of us don't have any employees. We're solopreneurs. And so how do we take care of ourselves? How do we navigate work, home, and community without compromising our well-being, without forgetting our life partner's anniversary, without taking our children to the soccer game, or without forgetting our grandmother's 80th birthday? And then we'll move on to step three, and we'll talk about finance. And the most important thing is to know the numbers. How are you being profitable or not, and what you need to know about it so you can take it to a most profitable level. Then we'll move on to step number four, and we'll bring the legal side, understanding not only what your rights are, but maybe a different view as to what can and cannot be done, and what are you doing that could potentially put your business at risk. Then we move on to step number five, and we'll talk about marketing. Know your clients. Where are they? Who are they? How do they behave? Why would they buy from you? And more importantly, how do you get to them so they can buy from you and they understand your value proposition? We'll go to step number six, and we'll talk about strategy. Know where you're going. And some of us may have a business plan, a written business plan that we utilize as that roadmap, as that strategy that tells us exactly where we're going and how we're going to be successful. Some of us have not even thought about it. I want you to consider it. I want you to have that written roadmap that is going to be your strategy, that is going to take you from A through Z in such an incredible way that there's no way that you're going to fail. And then after all of that is done, we'll we'll do a greater self-assessment, and we understand what the brutal facts, because now we have an attitude change. We have identified what are the things that really need to happen in my business so I can take its health to a greater level, and then call to action. And we'll have that on our last workshop, where the 7 of us will be together, and you get to ask questions that perhaps are burning your heart and want to know. And more importantly, we'll be sharing with you a plethora of resources that are available for you to continue to work on the 5 vitals, even if we're not around. So stick with us, hang in there, participate, be collaborative, get to know each other. This is the reason why we're building this community, so we can support each other and be each other's clients and so forth. So let's start by participating as much as we can, and I look forward to seeing you in the journey. So you can prepare yourself as to where we're going. Daniel did an excellent job, and Daniel, thank you again for your continued support. You can mark your calendar, take a screenshot of this, so you can have your calendar as to the days and times of the events that I just shared with you. And I say this with the right to change at any time, because sometimes things change. So, but for now, this is what it looks like. All right. On that note, let's go ahead and let's keep going. All right. I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again. Awareness is not enough. So you got to think of 8 to the 5th power. That's my gift. So the whole idea is that I get you all the way to accountability. But that's not going to happen without a lot of work. So piece of paper and pen, type however you decide, but take copious notes as to what we're talking about here. And then I don't want to be the innocent to know that there's some potential blind spots that we may have. All the way from D to the 5th power. Now you see how my mind thinks, right? It's all on A to the 5th, D to the 5th, A to the 5th, and so forth. So are you in denial that you may need to change something around the business health of your business? Are you being delusional about the fact that you might have to make some drastic changes in your business? Because if you do not, you might be suffering terrible consequences. Are you being distracted? Are you doing things that perhaps are taking you away from what's most important as it relates to the business health? Are you derailed and being, again, taken away from what's most important? Or are you suffering any combination of all of the above? So I cannot answer that question for you. Each and every one of you have the answer. I'll ask the question again. Are you in the D to the 5th power box? And if you are, I'm calling you out. And I encourage you to continue to be here and to learn how to elevate your business health. All right. So I take this opportunity to say thank you to Daniel and Allison, who have been outstanding in making sure that the workshops that we're doing go smoothly. And so I couldn't be remiss in taking the opportunity to thank both of you in front of my audience. And I have an explanation. The cat is out. When you search for an online picture on PowerPoint, which is what I'm using today, you get what you get depending on what you're looking for. When I type Daniel Anzueto in my search, I get a bunch of pictures, but I don't get a picture of Daniel, so I just pick the one that I thought that looked more like him. And then I did the same with Allison. But the funny thing is that, so that made me laugh. So I'm hoping to bring a smile to your face as you see the names of the StartOut members who are going to be delivering for you each on each of the vitals, but that's not their picture. All right, this is somebody else's picture that came out of that search. So this is the business health navigator for entrepreneurs team coming up. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the doing. All right, let's go ahead and self-rate our business right now. So when you think about um, employee well-being, financial well-being, marketing well-being, legal well-being, and strategic well-being, what does your business look like right now in your biased opinion? Because we're not even checking numbers or anything. So if I were going to ask you, you were going to be very honest with yourself, of course, on a scale of 1 being worst and a scale of 5 being best, how would you rate your business? I give you a minute to do that, a minute or two. I also realized that some of you may be just thinking of creating a business, so you may not have a complete response there. So hang in there. Jason, for you, I want you to answer this based on the business that you have in New Jersey, not the one that you're thinking of taking to Florida. Okay? Now that you have that, right? I know for a fact, and I know this, that some of you have great performance in some of the vitals. Some of you are going to have good performance, and some of you are going to have a not so good performance in one of them. All right. If everything is good, great, perfect, it could be two things. Awesome. Make sure that you share with us what you're doing. All of us can learn from each other. Or second, you better check on that D to the fifth power box. Okay? Make sure that you're not being distracted or delusional or in denial or derailed. All right? So if you feel so brave to go ahead and share on the chat, what is the greatest challenge that you have right now in your business? So out of the 5, just go ahead and tell us, what is the greatest challenge? This is a safe space, okay? No judgmental call on anyone or anything, all right? That's the space that we're creating, a space of trust and vulnerability and love. So we're here to support each other. And if you're in trouble when it comes to the 5 vitals, that's why you're here. And for that, you're courageous. And I thank you for that. And so what is the greatest challenge that you see in your business right now? If you were going to tell you, if we were going to tell us, look, Victor, when I look at the 5 vitals, I think what's really derailing me, killing me is this. So write it down, all of you, right? And I'll give you a minute to do so. Now, now we know it. The cat is out. The brutal facts. Well, the brutal bias, really, because they're not facts. Because if financial is the greatest challenge, the question is, where is it? Where in all of it is it? And that's what we're going to get to. Now, one thing that I want to call on your attention is that sometimes we tend to drive our cars on a flat tire. And just like we drive our cars on a flat tire, we tend to run our business on a flat tire as well. And what I mean by that is, if your greatest challenge is legal, and that is a flat, and you continue to do that, that's a risk on your business. If your flat tire happens to be well-being, my God, that is a greatest risk. And so you get my point. And the reason why I'm having this in front of you today is, yeah, we can run a car in a flat tire, but how long before we create bigger problems, before we really have to stop, before we ask for help? And so if that's what's happening in your business right now, it's a call for you to create awareness around what can I do? What awakening? I want this to be an awakening. So there's an attitude change so you can take action and hold yourself accountable so you can do something about it. Because the last thing we want is for this to happen.
My name is Jack Jeffries. I work here at the emergency department at Nebraska Med, and I've been here 2 years. We get here and we get our assigned beds and we take care of our patients. Here at the emergency department, we see everything from a rolled ankle or a stuffy nose to a full stroke or a trauma, motor vehicle accidents. We can see it all. I wanted to come down to the emergency department just for a little bit more fast-paced action, a little bit more difference of patients. Every day is new. You get new patients every day, new symptoms, diagnosis, ailments, and keeps you on your toes and you learn something new every day. Down here, we try to get them in and out as soon as possible after they're stabilized and get them to a floor where they're more comfortable. Nebraska Medicine is a teaching hospital, so we always have the latest in technology and we always get new students, new ideas every day, so it gives a new perspective here compared to other hospitals.
A new perspective it is.
My name is Jack Jeffries.
Okay, a new perspective it is. And the whole idea is that if you have to go to the emergency room, once you found out that your vitals, your business vitals are not where they need to be, it's okay. There is help. We can do something about it. But the one thing that we cannot do is not do anything about it. Okay? That's the call on what is the health of your organization. So, you guys ready to play?
I work here at an emergency department.
On that note, let's go ahead and play. Daniel.
Yeah, I'm here.
Would you be able to do teams of two? Maybe two? Teams of two?
1 second.
And then what I like us to do is, this is actually Veronica Mason. That's what she looks like. That's how beautiful she is. And so she and I are going to kick it off doing holistic well-being of the business well-being and employee well-being. And so what I like you to do for the next 7 minutes or so is answer to yourself these questions in the company of one of the participants. So the two of you get to discuss these 5 questions, and then be prepared to have somebody share with us one great learning that you're taking away from this exercise. And just so you're prepared, we're going to be doing this exercise 5 times for the 5 vitals as we create that awareness. And at the same time, we'll take you to the triage as to determine how critical could potentially be your business health. All right?
There we go. All right, and Victor, I didn't add you to anything, so you can jump into any of the rooms, but there's 2 people in each one.
All right, fantastic. We were lucky. Thank you. And I was gonna say, where it says broadcast, this is like if I want to send a message or something.
Yeah, and Simon, it seems like you have it. There we go. All set.
And then I calculated about, if we do 5 vitals, 10 minutes, it's going to be like 50. And if somebody spends 3 minutes sharing, it's going to be like an hour. So how are we doing on time?
I got a little bit under an hour. It's 2:38. So we're 38 minutes into the session.
38 minutes. So, and if we have an hour, so 7.
Says that they'll close in 49 seconds.
Okay.
I can bring them back. Okay, so that's good to know. It takes us a minute.
Jason, I see you.
I see you too, Victor.
Hey. Hello, everyone. Hey, Chris. It's good to see faces now. So you guys had enough time for this, right? Yes. Maybe no, Mel. It's like so forth. So what I thought that we will do is maybe someone can share if there was any aha moment when it comes to well-being. This is nothing compared to what Veronica and I will take you on during our well-being vital day, but I wanted to give you a feel for what's coming and for what's important when it comes to you to understanding the vitals. Does anyone care to share anything that may be relevant to your employee or your well-being in your business?
Well, are you talking about like all our employees? Is that kind of what you're asking?
It could
Because I
be,
don't have a problem sharing, but
yeah, it could be about all of the employees, or it could be in some cases to ourselves, because some of us are solopreneurs and we don't really have employees. So like Rick, for instance, he can tell us, my God, I am awesome. I'm exercising, I'm eating well, I'm sleeping well, everything is going well. I have a good mindset. But on the other hand, it may be all a bluff. It may be that he's not spending quality time with his life partner. It can be that his family hasn't seen him for the past 8 months because he's so laser focused on what he's doing. And so it's not really a good well-being balance. So, Rick, I don't mean to put you on the spot. I kind of try to twist things so they didn't pinpoint you on how really you are. You can tell us. But Jason, by all means, share your experience.
well, like I was telling Mel before, it's very tough because when you're dealing with multiple businesses and a full-time job, as I've spoken to you about before, Victor, it's very tough to focus your time on just one thing. Because not all businesses, I don't know what everybody else does, but not all businesses net income at the same time. One's more consistent than the other. One business is, it's tough, especially when you're working. So trying to strategize, I guess, especially with employees who sometimes act like babies, it's something to deal with, and it does give you gray hairs, hence the goatee that I got going on.
Well, I think we will agree. Chris has the long, their white hair, so it's all good. So thank you for sharing that, Jason. That's the whole point of the exercise, is that we know that we gotta do something about it, right? The question is, what can we do? And the reality is that we gotta bring that issue to the light by having these conversations so we can share best practices. And so I encourage you to attend the well-being workshop coming up, because we'll talk about, one, how to deal with that stress that Jason just mentioned around having to deal with employees, but at the same time, big pictures, what are some of the things that we can do to better manage the well-being in our businesses so we can elevate it to a different level. Now, quick question. I'm going to put this screen, or question or comment, I'm going to put back on the screen, and then we'll go and do the next vital, which is going to be, I think it's going to be finance. So I'm going to put you in pairs again, and then share your comments just like we did before. But more importantly, is look for the pain. What is it that is killing you when it comes to the finances? Is it the cost of goods? Is the salary? Is it the expenses? What is it in your mind? Because we're not going to have the facts right now, that is killing you. And then we'll come back and do these conversation back and forth until we're done with the fifth, and then we'll open it up for any additional questions that you may have. And then Rick, be on the lookout. I'm going to be calling on you next. All right. So let's do this. So I'll go back to right here. Make sure I'm sharing the right screen. You guys got Veronica, right? She and I are going to be doing employee well-being. Now, we got Ryan Stoll doing finance. And so I want you to go back in your rooms, right? And then have a conversation around these 5 questions and see if you find a pain that may be very particular to you. Is it debt to equity situation, or what is it? So Daniel, can you help us out? Can you send us back out in groups of 2?
Will do. 1 second.
Thank you, sir. And show your screenshot the questions. And then we're going to do 7 minutes, so it's 56. Do you see me or no?
All right, breakout rooms are open. Folks are getting invitations.
Awesome. Everybody. Oh, Justin he hasn't joined because he doesn't have somebody. So he could be with me, right? Can we put Justin in a room?
I can. Yeah, I'll put you both in a room together.
Okay. So there you have it. You know, and Rick, thank you so much for being vulnerable and willing to share in a safe space for us. It's what we gotta do. And sometimes we're in the go, 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 go. It don't take the minute or 2 that it takes for us to make those strategic decisions that can take us from not profitable to profitable. Okay, what do we need to do? All right. So I am going to, unless anybody has any burning desire to share something else, Mel, Chris, Darcy. No, we're good. So the next, let's see where we're going next. We're going to do this exercise one more time. And next, we're going to legal, right? It's always a good who's doing things under the law. And this is going to be so very important because we don't want to go to the nest that we went through during and post-pandemic. For those of you that have been in business from before pandemic, with the PPP fiasco, all right? So by all means, we want to make sure that we have everything under order so we can reap the benefits of the resources that are available. So once again, I want us to go and have a quick awakening conversation around legal and how it can be taking us to a greater risk and chances of, if we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, that we may lose our business for not knowing. So Daniel, do your magic. Send us away and see who's our gift next.
Sounds good. And Victor, just confirming, how long do you want them for?
Yeah, 7 minutes has been working.
All right, here we go. See you all in 7 minutes.
We're back. All right. How do we do in making sure that we're legal and making sure that we're not putting our business at risk? Anyone like to share?
I'll just chime in. I don't have clients, I don't have any revenue yet, but one of the first pieces of advice that someone gave me was to go to nolo.com. And Nolo has been an amazing resource because they're a book or a set of contracts or a set of forms are like $20. And you can pay that. And these are really simple books. So to help you follow, here's your legal outline of your financials and things like that, and how to protect yourself. So the things you have to do and the things that you have to protect yourself in case something happens. And then you got all these contracts that you can just wordsmith and change. So I've been telling everybody to go to Nolo.
Awesome. Chris, thank you for sharing that. This is why we do this. There's so much knowledge on us, and I appreciate you sharing. Rick just shared something else on the chat. So make sure you guys grab that. Without any further ado, let's continue a conversation and let's move on to marketing. Marketing is going to be done by two of StartOut team members, John Jenkinson and Adam New Watterson. And so take a screenshot of the questions and then let's go back into the rooms and let's continue conversation. Daniel, if you will do the magic. Thank you.
Sounds good. Rooms are opening now.
Our last one is strategy, right? So here we have it. Ron is going to take it as you're going to enjoy his completely total out of the box view as to what strategy should look like for any of our business. So I'm very excited about the conversation we're going to have with Ron. In the meantime, let's go ahead and see what could be an aha moment for us right about now. So, Daniel, take us away. Beat me up, Scotty.
All righty, folks, here we go.